everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. So today's topic is we are going to learn about the working of the break and the continue keyword. Break and continue keywords, and also we are going to look um, at the for else loop. Now for else loop, yes, for else loop. This is something that we have it in Python. We don't have this in any other programming languages, at least the languages that I have worked in. But in Python, we have this for else loop. So let's immediately get started with this. So first we'll be looking at the break and continue keyword. How does it work and what it is? So we will take an example for I in range. Okay, if I say 1 comma 10 and colon, and then if I say if an if statement, if I is equal to 2, okay, and I say break. So break keyword basically is used to break the loop. Okay, now this if statements is a kind of a chord block. It belongs to this for loop, right? Because it's inside this for loop. So this break statement will break this particular loop. It will break the loop. um, for example, this if statements belongs to this for loop, so it will break this particular loop. So if you have some nested loop, for example, if you have one more loop inside this j in range, so in range, and if I give something like 1 comma 10 again over here, just an example, and if I have an if statement under this j loop, now the break statement, if it gets executed, it will break this j loop, not the I loop. Okay, so be very careful about this, how it exactly works. So I will just take one single loop for I'll just keep it very simple for you to understand. So if I is equal to 2, so we will break the loop. Now breaking the loop means that even if there are certain iterations remaining, even if there are certain iterations remaining in this loop, for example, this will generate a series 1 to 1 to 9, right? But it will only go for one iteration because I will be 1, it will go for that. When I becomes 2, when I becomes 2, this loop will break. So the remaining iterations it will not go for the remaining iterations. So that's how it works. So if I say over here outside the if statement, if I print I, so you can see the output for this particular program. I will just save it as test.py, and here it is. So we only have one because it only went for one iterations. But if I make this as 5, so this will go for I is equal to 1, the condition won't get satisfied, I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, and then I is equal to 4, and ultimately I is equal to 5, the condition gets satisfied and the break will get executed. So this will break the loop. So if you see the output, we will have around 1, 2, 3, and 4 output. Here it is. So break is basically used to break the loop with the help of an if statement. Break is also a keyword. So why we have this? Now we have this because and there are certain conditions where we need to break this loop. Okay, if a certain condition gets satisfied inside the loop, we need to break it. We don't want that the loop should go further. In that case, we will be using this break statement. Okay, now let us just see how the continue works. So for example, if I give the keyword that is continue, now continue is also another keyword. Okay, what continue will do is if this condition gets satisfied, which it will, then continue will bring back the controller back to this for loop. So it will not execute this statement. So if you see this output of this particular of this particular code. So if you see, this is, we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, and 5 is missing out here. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. So what happened over here is continue actually took the controller back to this for loop. So this statement did not got executed. So from here the controller went back over here and I got the next value, that is 6. And since 6, this condition, when I is 6, this condition doesn't get satisfied, it went on to print that value. So if you see the output, again I will run the output so that you can understand how continue is basically working. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll just keep it over here. So for I is equal to 1, the condition did not got satisfied, so it printed the value. Same for 2, same for 3, same for 4. But for 5, this condition got satisfied and this particular statement got executed. So over here what happened is, again we went back from here, only we went back to the for loop. The controller went back to the for loop and I received the value 6, and then this condition did not got satisfied again, and so it printed 6, 7, 8 and 9. So the 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this is how continue works. So even this particular keyword is used, the continue is used when we don't want the rest of the statements of that for loop to get executed on certain condition. So if I is 5, I don't want to print that. In such a situation, if you don't want the rest of the statements to get executed, so in that case you will be using continue keyword. Okay, so that's how continue, the break and continue, these two keywords work. It's very simple. And now we are going to look for the for else loop. Now for else loop, how it works is, basically if I give a break statement over here, okay, and outside for will have an else part, for will have an else part, and I will say that something like anything, hello world, any statement, I'll just give a message like hello world. Okay, now what will happen over here is, if this for loop, for example, this will have an iterations of 1 to 9, because this will generate a list of 1 to 9. So iterations will be 9 times this for loop will execute. But what I'm doing over here is I is equal to 5. This particular keyword, the break, will basically break this loop. So in case if this loop has, if you break this loop, if the loop breaks before completing all its iterations, in that case this else part will not get executed. Okay, and if it completes all its iterations, in that case this else part gets executed. For example, I will just remove this part, okay, and remove this if statement also. Okay, so what is happening over here, it will complete all its iterations, right, and we will see the output. Okay, I'll just close this so that you don't get confused. Okay, I will just run this again. The previous output was that. Okay, now here it is. Now the for loop went for 9 iterations. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and then it went for the else part, that is hello world. Now what we will do is, we will break this loop in between. So if I say for I is equal to 5, okay, so what I will do is I will break the loop, and now we will see the output. So if you see the output, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, and for 5 this loop got break. In that case this else statement will not get executed. Okay, so if you break this loop, else part will not get executed. If the for loop completes all its iterations, in that case else part will get executed. I hope you have got this thing. Okay, now what we will do, just to understand this, we will just take a small program to check whether a number is prime or not. Okay, So let us do this program. We will check a number is prime or not. A prime number is a number which is greater than 1, and it doesn't have any multiples, right? So numbers like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, we don't have the multiples. So we such a number which is divisible by itself is a prime number. So let us do this program. Let us check whether n is a prime number or not. Okay, I will say enter a number. Okay, and we will understand the working of this else part also. So what I will do is, first thing I will check is if n is equal to, n should be greater than 1, right? Because the number should be greater than 1. In that case, only in this situation I'll be moving further with the next statement. I'll just delete the whole thing over here. Okay, if n should be greater than 1, if it is, so first thing I will do is, if n is equal to 2, okay, if n is equal to 2, in that case what I will do is I will just print that it is prime number. The number is prime. Okay, since 2 is a prime number. And then if it is anything greater than 2, okay, in that case I'll just give the, and what I will do over here, I will just use the exit function, which is basically used to terminate the entire program. Okay, so I will just terminate the program over here itself, and then I will give a for I in range, and what I will do over here is I will start from 2 and go till n. Okay, start from 2 and go till n, and for example n is 7. So what we will do is we will keep on we will do the mod operation, that is n mod I, and I initially will be 2. For example, if n is 7, so it will have 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we will go till 6. This is n. It will go 1 less than n. So we will divide n, that is 7, by 2, 7 by 3, 7 by 4. And if it comes down to 0, means the number is divisible. In that case, we will just say that the number, if it satisfies this condition, which means if it is if the number is 6, in that case it will get divided by 6, and the number is not prime in that case, isn't it? And immediately I will use a break statement. Okay, and over here what I will do over here is I will use an else part. I will use an else part for this for loop. Okay, and what I will do over here is I will print the number is prime. Now what happens is, if this loop goes for its entire iterations, means this condition never got satisfied, which means the number is prime. It never got divided by any of the I value, which means the number is prime. So if it goes for all the iterations, the number is prime. Okay, so let us run this program and see the output. Okay, so we have a number called as 7, and you can see 7 is the number is prime. And if I say something like number 6, you can see that we have the output that number is not prime. So I hope you have understood this program. And if we give something like 2, okay, for 2 it was like the number is prime, so it will just go for 2. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I will just run this again, and if the number is 2, in that case also it will print the number is prime, and the exit statement will kill the that particular program. Okay, this exit statement basically just terminates the entire program. Okay, so this is how a break statement works, and this is how the else part of this for loop basically works. So I hope you understood this entire tutorial. Practice it, keep on practicing, you'll be perfect. So bye for now.
So if you have liked my video, do subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button in front of you. Click it right away. And after that, click on the bell icon so that you can get the regular notifications of my videos. Bye for now.